Good evening. I'm one of the three HEEE ladies. HEEE is not a product, and it's not a project. In fact, it's an approach. It's a way of looking at the world differently. I always tell my students, the way you look at anything in this world is determined by your education. So those of you who've been trained as engineers will look at the world through that lens. And those of you who, like me, have had an education in the social sciences or in the arts will rarely think of a technical aspect of any problem. Everything outside of our training is noise, and this leads to tunnel vision. This is also why many of the solutions that we actually develop for problems, global or local, are not sustainable. So what we've done here is we have developed an interdisciplinary bottom-up approach to engage with the complexities of local and global problems. The problems are old, but by looking at them through the three lenses of health, education, and engineering, we're able to offer new solutions. We developed HEEE on a scoping visit to India, where we found lots of technical solutions which were lying around broken and unused, and we therefore decided to pool the resources across the three disciplines. Bottom line is, if you put a toilet into a village or into a slum, and you don't educate people how to use and maintain it, you will not actually have the benefits of the health benefits that you expect. So I'm going to tell you how it works with two very short examples. We've chosen child malnutrition as our first global challenge to test the HEEE approach. We're now working in 9 villages in rural Rajasthan, working with the community funded by the Medical Research Council. And we are working with the community to identify the barriers, but also work with them to develop integrated solutions. And we'll make those solutions sustainable by bringing health workers and teachers together and by making the local school a hub for information. And the second project, which has just started, is looking at how schools are built and how that can actually lead to gender-based violence. We have had girls in India tell us that they're sometimes filmed in toilets and that those films are sold at the gates or used to blackmail them. This apparently is not only the case in India, this is the case in many other countries as well. We are now working with schools in Delhi to try and see how such harassment can be made impossible. So, what do we want from you here this evening? We've been successful at raising funds through research councils. Research council funding, academic funding, rarely allows you to scale up, and it's very difficult to actually translate findings into technical solutions. So in the first instance, we're asking for 3 things. We would like to engage with the private sector, and we would like to engage with the philanthropic sector, in particular with people and companies that are driven by solutions-based work, rather than trying to sell technical expertise. We also believe passionately that if the development goals are going to be met, policy has to change. So we hope to speak to anyone who's engaged in the policy world and who would like to hear more about our approach. Many thanks.